She's here. I had to go outside and get her. She pulled up in the driveway. This is
a long drive.
It is all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to San Diego, California. I'm telling you. I bet it was scenic though, right? So welcome to On the Edge, Connie Koster.
Koster.
Okay, wait. Do it again. Hold on. Brains. She's here. She arrived. I had to go outside and get her. Connie Koster. She is here with us on the edge. We are going to talk about some fabulous stuff. I'm so excited to have her. She is such a love. She's all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And we are going to be talking about this hot topic, mindset mastery. Everybody is talking about that now. They're really trying to get their head around it. She's got a very compelling story. You know, she found her forever family as an adopted child at 6 years old. I want to know what that taught her and how that shaped her vision for life. She's got a great workshop, a vision workshop. I want to know what that looks like. And what is she pouring into people? And what is growing in their soul? Welcome her to the Edge, Brains, Connie Koster. Hi, how are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing great, April. How are you today?
I can't complain about anything. The weather is beautiful. I woke up with a smile on my face and a song in my heart.
I woke up.
Okay, right.
Woke up, I took a breath. I'm here. I'm healthy. I'm happy.
That's right.
Can't ask for much more than that. I'm richly blessed.
That's right. And we can't take that for granted because there's a whole lot of folks that ain't able right now. Okay?
A lot of folks that did not open their eyes this morning.
That's right. So you did. Let's hear a little bit about your awakening. What's going on? Tell us a little bit about you, Connie.
Okay. Well, I unknowingly have actually been involved in transformational principles my entire life.
Wow.
I just never realized it. Now, of course, I'm a transformational brave thinking master and a life mastery and dream builder coach, all through Mary Morrissey and the Life Mastery Institute. My passion is to have my lifelong desire actually is to ignite the spirit within absolutely everybody that I meet. I know that everyone, I want to meet them, I want to encourage them to discover their greatness, their special talent, that talent that needs to be shared with the rest of the world.
Right.
And the passion that lights their soul and makes their heart fill with pure love and joy. I believe everyone has a particular kind of uniqueness within them, a unique something. And I love going out and being among people. I've been told that I don't know any strangers. I don't meet any strangers.
Wow.
It's very easy for me to it's an intuition type of thing that I've had since I was a child. And I think this is what you and I talked about before.
Right.
That might be what you were leading me to. Since I was a child, I was given up at birth. And I went in and out of all kinds of different foster homes and orphanages. And I always knew that there was something that was protecting me. I could feel it. When I would be in any kind of a fearful situation, it was almost like there was a tap on my shoulder. There was something that was there that was protecting me and that would give me these ideas, give me these thoughts like crawl under the bed. And when I get underneath the bed and I'd realize that no one else could get under the bed because it was so low. I was a little child, and that was my protection, or go hide in the closet or whatever it was that I needed to do. So I've always had that. And it's been a plus and it's been a minus because it's been mainly with people that I'm very, very close to. A situation with an aunt of mine in Chicago, and I was maybe about 9 or 10 years old, and I could not go to sleep. And my mom came in the room. We had family that were coming in, and I needed to get my rest, and I was sleeping in my grandmother's room, sharing the room with her so the people could have their spot. And my mom came in and she's like, honey, you've got to get some sleep. I said, Mommy, I can't stop thinking about Annie else. Well, it wasn't 20 minutes later, the phone rang and it was a call from Chicago. And it was the relative saying that my Aunt Else had been in a very bad car bus accident. She was on the passenger side. The car got hit on the passenger side. She was coming home from when they used to have bridge clubs and card clubs with a glass platter on her lap, and it slashed both of her wrists. It just, I mean, she was in terrible, terrible shape. And so I was afraid of that. I had a fear of having that ability my entire life.
Mhm.
But I would always find this peace about it afterwards, as if I was able to help other people with it also. And it got to a point in my life where I have a very, very dear friend right now, Miss Ann. And I met her through our church nursery. She and I were working there, and I hadn't been working there very long, but she came in one day and I could tell that she was kind of just not herself, not her happy, pleasant self. And I asked her, what was going on, and she said that she had gone to the doctor and that the report had not been what she wanted it to be. And I gathered all the other workers around. It was early enough that we could do that with no children in the area. Gathered the other workers around, and we laid hands on her, and I started praying. I, to this day, still don't know what it was that I said to her, but she calls me her angel now, because
In tongues, honey.
she went. We prayed, and after we prayed, she looked better, and I asked her if she felt better, and she said, "Yes, I do." She went to the doctor, and the report was that the results from the mammogram that she had been so fearful about the week before came back, and they were clear.
Wow. So, you have this gift and you have this ability that you're pouring into people. But, Connie, what does this do for you? And the reason why I ask that is we always want to be the givers. As women, we want to be, the martyr. We want to take care of other people. But what does this do? How does this fortify your soul when you're able to pour into people and get these results?
April, it's been such a natural thing for me that it's not something that I really even noticed that much. It's just something that just kind of comes to me and comes through me, and it just fills me, and it has filled me since I was a little girl. I wish I had a picture of me from my adoption picture, because I'm just sitting there just with this great big old smile on my face, like I don't have a care in the world. And I mean, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations. I mean, I've been through a lot of things in my life. I've had a lot of injuries and a lot of illnesses and things, but it's a very calming feeling when it's happening. And afterwards, it's amazing, because somebody will be, like right up in my face, and they'll be grabbing a hold of me and saying, thank you so much. I can't believe I needed to hear that today. And I don't have a clue what I said. So
let me ask you a question. Let me kind of, because I'm personally a little scattered on this. You have an ability. Is this a psychic, intuitive ability? Are you working through a spiritual realm where you're able to give prayer, anointment? And how does all of this fit into your coaching with the mindset mastery?
Okay, what this is not any kind of a woohoo or anything on that order. This is something that just simply happens to me. It's not something where I can sit down like some of the people in the past who were able to do readings for people. It's not that kind of a thing for me by any means. It's just something that all of a sudden it's like a channeling. It's like a gift that has been given to me, and I never know when it's going to happen. So it's not like people could call me and say, do a reading for me. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Right.
And the way that it feeds me, though, is that I am extremely intuitive when I am with people or talking to people or working with people, that things will come to me that I never would have thought of on my own. Okay, so that's kind of how it helps me with my coaching and with being able to be in the mastery training, because you've got to be very open. You've got to be very centered, and you've got to be very, very open to what the infinite, God, Jesus, what you want to call it, the spirit, is feeding into you all the time. And it's feeding into each and every one of us. It's feeding into our souls. It's feeding into our very beings continuously. We just need to be able to be open enough and recognize that. And the whole thing is, there's so many people who don't understand that. They're afraid of it, or they don't recognize or realize what it is when it's happening to them.
Right.
And if I can help guide those people, then that to me is going to be one of the biggest blessings of all. If I can help to have them recognize and go deep within themselves to where they can find those things about themselves, I have no way of knowing what they are. I can only guide them, and that's what the teaching and coaching is.
When you guide them, okay, so what I'm trying to do is, say for example, I roll up on you. Hey,
Okay.
how you doing? And I know that there's some things that's going on with inside of me. You want me to be open. You want me to trust you. You want me to help, to open up, to allow you to help me guide through whatever metamorphosis of change that I'm about to go through. How do I begin to trust you? I mean, and I mean that in the most respectful way, because again, like you said, open yourself up. It's not a can of tuna. You can't just open yourself up. You've got to be in that space. You've got to really trust. How do you prepare your clients to go on this journey with you?
They are actually preparing themselves. There are a lot of questions that, a lot of things that would be asked of them to start off with. In other words, like with you, there would probably be a particular field, a particular area that you would be curious about. It might be your vocation, it might be your health, it might be relationship related, it might have to do with prosperity and wealth. And there would be a guiding, there's an actual process. This is what happens with the vision workshops.
Okay.
And this is what happens with the individual one-on-one calls or with the group calls, where there's an actual guided step-by-step work process.
Okay.
That takes place. And it is, and that's pretty much, so you answer the questions that I feed to you, that I send to you. It's basically a 14-week process for the very beginning, for the main dream builders. But there are other sources too, like learning the laws of the universe. There's so many different levels to it, that there's always going to be something that's going to fit in with an individual, someone in particular. Like, say for you, what might it be for you? What might be something that you would be a dream, something you would really love to have in your life? Something you've thought about for a while, but it just has not happened.
I really can't tell you, because I'm a big dreamer. When I talk about big, I mean humongous.
Good.
Because I know that it's a ripple effect. So when I think about my future and what I want, I just want to be an effective communicator. I want to be open to dialect. I want to be a good listener. I want to hear what people are saying. I want to be a conduit for change. I'm an activist on so many levels, not just, political or social, but, I'm always wanting to help the underserved and overlooked in our world, not just our community. So those are some of the things that I kind of set my sights on. So if I were to come to your vision workshop, and take off my shoes and get comfortable, what would I find? What would I find?
You would find yourself there with a group of like-minded people that were also searching for something. They all have something in particular. And what I would do is I would have a notebook for you to be able to start putting some items down in, and we would go ahead, and first thing that we would do is we would clear everyone's emotions. Because most of the time when you walk into a room like that, you have, most of us, like right now when we started this, something has happened where you're in a hurry.
Right.
So we try to bring it to where everybody is on the same level with maybe a couple of stories, a couple of just breathing exercises, different ways to be able to just bring everybody to the same level, getting to know each other through a couple of different exercises and things. And then what I would do is I sit there and I would go over the 4 different categories and ask each one of you to sit down and write down in your book under each category certain things that come to mind, certain things that you would like to change. Do you want to lose weight? Are you looking for that person of your dreams? You want more out of your life? Do you want to be somebody who is an entrepreneur? Do you want to be somebody who is going off and building these wells in Africa and providing water for the villages and for the families? Are you like I am, where you want to really work with children and really work with older people? Because it doesn't matter, like if you're in my situation, I didn't have a chance to dream.
Right.
I was always working all the time. So when I was dreaming, I didn't really know what dreaming was as a child. I want to work with those children and let them realize there's something more to their life than that. And also when you get older, I want the older people to realize too, just because you're retired doesn't mean you don't have anything left to do. You don't have anything to dream about.
Right.
You can dream about the traveling or whatever, but I mean, like with one person I know, her mother came to her and finally said, okay, I've heard about all these stories and what you're doing. Do this program with me. So she did the program with her mother, and her mother figured out that she wanted to paint China.
Wow.
She wanted to paint China.
Wow.
She showed us pictures of this China that she painted, and it was absolutely incredible. But if she hadn't gone through the program and hadn't gone deep within herself in order to figure that out, she wouldn't have known that.
Right. And it's a journey, and it's scary to, go deep and go inside yourself, because folks be coming up out the ground. they don't realize what's going on. How do we start to, and brains, I always say burn some sage. Okay? Clear your space. Clear your space. But outside of that, how do we start small but play big in the world of dreams?
Well, you do start small, but then you have to start building that up in your own mind. I mean, it's just like everything starts with a thought. When you think about the great masters, when you think about Edison, when you think about the Wright brothers, when you think about Mandela, you think about so many of these different people and what they have done for us and what they've given to us, all because it started out with a thought that they had.
Mm-hmm.
It was an idea, it was a thought. And rather than pressing down on that thought and go, oh, I can't do that, that'll never happen, something gave them something, meaning the infinite, the powers to be, whatever it may be, something gave them that idea. And that's where I'm coming from when I say everyone has something special within them. They have a talent that they have been given. They have something special that I don't want to see anybody in this world go to their, spend their last breath thinking to themselves, I could have given more. What could I have done? I had this dream in my heart all the time, but I never went out there and pursued it.
Right.
That's what this is all about. This is finding out. It's starting with that little bitty idea that seems like nothing. But then you have to go and you have to build it up to a point where it's like, is it something that's going to matter to me? Is it something that really brings me joy? Is it something that really makes me happy and makes me passionate? Is it something that's going to be good for the world?
Shoulda,
Yeah.
People ask themselves, and they look back on their lives and they said, you know what, I should have done that. And that's one thing that I can say, that I've been very fortunate in my life, that I've had a lot of dream catchers, not dream crushers, that have been there and have played a part in that have allowed me to expand my bandwidth and to go, way out, do some crazy stuff. And you're not always going to succeed. Like my mother always says, sometimes, could you imagine if you got everything that you wanted, you'd be a hot mess. So you have to kind of dial back, figure out what to do. I think some great suggestions would be journaling. Definitely write down what's important to you. Visualization. Already see it in your mind. Go for a nice walk. Be quiet. Don't always talk, just sit in
Meditate.
silence. Yeah. And people get afraid of that word meditate. They think you got to go into some, some hippy dippy state and you got to sit in a certain position. You can meditate right there in the chair. Just sit there and
Meditate
close your
walking
eyes
in
and breathe.
nature.
Exactly.
If I try to meditate, I fall asleep. So I can't meditate like a lot of people do with that, they think they have to be in a particular position and
Right.
everything. I can't do that.
That?
If I want to meditate, I go someplace where I can just get out in nature and just kind of walk around. Meditating is actually just deep, deep, deep thinking, going deep within yourself
And
and
breathing.
allowing the thoughts to come to you, not trying to force them. And that's a lot of times like with the journaling. If you're sitting there and you're just kind of open and you're just kind of thinking of things, and we have that as one of the exercises, is to sit there and just whatever words come to you, however crazy they may be, and writing those words down. And you might be doing it for yourself, but then we get in these groups where we're doing it for the people in the group also. And it's just a certain amount of time. It's like, okay, this person, and each person is given you an idea of some of the trials and tribulations they're going through.
Right.
And then everybody in the group does a journaling where it's whatever word comes to you. And it's like, with one of the girls I did this with recently, I got smack in the head.
Mm.
I'm like, what are you going to do with smack in the head? And afterwards, she came up to me and she says, you know something? She says, that was exactly it. She says, when you said smack in the head, she said, this idea just came to me.
Right. A download. How we like to call it, a download.
Exactly.
So you are a wealth of information. I like that you're just so relaxed with it, that you have come into yourself, that you have learned a lot, and that you want to share that with people. To whom much is given, much is required. And that's good, bad, or indifferent. And without the life experience that you had, you wouldn't be able to really stand up and be truthful. And that's what people want. They're going to walk on this journey with you and let you hold their hand as their guide, as their facilitator. They need to trust you. And I trust you. I think you're awesome, Sauce. So thank you so much for being here on The Edge. Connie, please tell my brains how to get in contact with you. If they want to find out more information about Mindset Mastery, about your vision workshop, and all the wonderful things that you're doing in the world.
They can go to http:// my name, Connie Koster, ConnieKoster.dreambuildercoach.com. And if you like, I'll go ahead and I'll send some kind of a link or something to you that you can put out to them. And the main thing is, my biggest thing is to get out to as many people as I can in order to allow them to know, to try to empower them, to try to help them to know that this is all available to them. All they have to do is ask, and not necessarily be asking me, but just ask, and it shall be given to you, So the main thing is just being able to get out and be able to speak to different groups of people, being able to work with individuals, work with groups, and just to be able to bless as many people as I possibly can in whatever ways I'm led.
Well, I think that that's so important, that, again, we dream big, that we play big in the world. We have to, we limit ourselves. And now self-limiting beliefs are very, very dangerous on so many levels, not just because you can't get what you want, but you can't fulfill your life's purpose. And we all have a purpose, brains. We all have a journey. Yep. We are not just here because we're cute. We have something to do, and we got to figure out what it is, even if you do it on a small scale. Everybody can't be a Mandela. Everybody can't be a, or Obama. Everybody can't be a superhero. But you can.
But we're not all meant to be.
And
sometimes you're in the right place at the right time in order to prevent something from happening, and you don't even know you were part of that.
Right.
But that was the reason why you were here. That's the reason why you are here. So if you have a big dream, though, if you have something that you really want to contribute, then don't hold back. I mean, it's like with so many people, they feel like they've got to hold back because they're afraid that they're going to overdo everyone else, or everybody else is going to look on them as if they're, oh my gosh, they're trying so hard to be. No, if you have something special to give, then please give it. Please put it out there for the rest of the world to be able to see, because all that's going to do is encourage somebody else to do the same thing.
That's right.
And that's what makes this world such an incredible place. We have all these people that have gone before us that have done all these incredible things that, I mean, we wouldn't have electricity. We wouldn't have all the things we have now if they hadn't gone ahead and taken that stretch. And that's what I want to help encourage people to do and help guide them to do if I can.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you're here to guide us. Brains, I need you to go back and listen to other edgy conversations. We've got all these amazing thought leaders, influencers, and game changers that are here on the edge to provide you information, to guide you, or even receive information, because they're open to learning too. That's why they're here on the edge. Help us raise those numbers, okay? We're looking at YouTube and Spotify and LinkedIn and Mixcloud, and always liking something on Facebook. Also, enter our great contests. We have tons of authors that are contributing their books, their anthology. Are you writing a book, Connie?
I have been told many times that I should, and I guess maybe I should.
Well, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, because we talk about dreaming big. Okay, I want to see how big you can dream. I want that book, and I want you to come on back to the edge and share with my brains. Have a wonderful, amazing day there in Atlanta, Georgia, and thank you so much for being on the edge with us today.
Thank you for allowing me to be here, April.
All right. Bye,
Sunshine and blessings.